Can the train explain the state of US politics? Let me back up. A lot of rural Republicans rely on passenger rail, and the GOP lawmakers they sent to Congress typically defend funding for those trains. Democrats also like passenger rail. Maybe both physically and spiritually, the train connects us all. But President Donald Trump doesn't. His budget request for next year includes steep cuts to passenger rail.
Cuts like this are going to affect people on both sides of the political parties.
I think it's time the train became self-sufficient.
But a lot of people depend on it for their livelihood, and it would really impact their everyday life.
And remember, the same rural Republicans that supported Trump in the last election also support passenger rail.
I still can't believe they don't see what an obvious liar he is.
You know, why did you cut this money? Is it for something else that's more important?
At this point, this Mad Lib is starting to feel a bit familiar. Trump voters rely on blank thing that Trump is trying to gut.
Most of them don't seem to think that these things affect them all that much.
They're trying to spend our money better and not let it go to where the money's being misused.
But I am curious, especially ahead of the midterm elections, if our goal is to afford to be alive, create a just and equitable society, and take the train while we're at it, what can we gain from understanding people who say they want some of the same things, but vote for someone working against them? I took the train to find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few minutes we'll be arriving on next and last stop, Washington, D.C. Union Station. Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention.
So my first leg of this big train trip was from Newark to D.C., where I'm about to get off. I took the Northeast Regional. Only one person I talked to today said that.
Yeah, I supported the president the last election.
Everyone else I talked to pretty emphatically told me
I did not support the president in the last election.
I did not.
I didn't support. Proud to say that I did.
The Northeast Regional runs through some pretty blue areas. I'll be getting some more perspectives when I ride the Floridian tomorrow.
Next stop is Farragut North. Doors open.
Farragut North is way better reasons.
I remember it well. I wasn't surprised to run into a lot of critics of the president today, but I was surprised at what they had to say about Trump supporters.
You know, people didn't necessarily know what they were getting themselves into, so I feel more sympathy than anything else for most people. I mean, I think maybe the politicians I feel less sympathy for.
I just hope it's like a wake-up call. As long as we leave room for each other to change their minds, that's all we can hope for going forward.
I feel that now they're finding out. I saw it right from the beginning because I grew up in Italy under Mussolini, and I could see that he was acting exactly like Mussolini.
I'm now on the next leg of my train trip. It's from Union Station in D.C. to Pittsburgh. I heard a wider variety of perspectives today, which makes sense. Washington Union Station is the second busiest Amtrak station in the country. And I'm also aboard the Floridian right now, which runs through some more conservative areas.
All the guys I work with support President Trump. They all voted for him twice, myself included, and we think he's doing a great job.
For myself and people around me that I know feel the same way I do, we don't feel betrayed at all.
Not at all with the trains. I mean, tariffs, yes.
So you think these federal funding cuts are a good thing? You're in support of them?
We're $39 trillion in debt. Yes.
I also talk to people who don't support the president.
You just can't cut that much. We just can't.
I have 3 grandchildren and 1 on the way, and I am so distressed about the world they're growing up in right now. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed for the midterms.
I took an overnight train on the last leg of my trip, so I didn't get to talk to anyone. Since then, I've been making sense of these conversations, and I've been thinking about how our political landscape goes beyond people who voted for or against Donald Trump. It's about the rich and powerful using what they have to keep the rest of us down. People across the political spectrum told me how hard it is to get by right now.
We need help, and I don't see where the White House is giving us help right now.
Yeah, I want prices to come down. I want our deficit to come down.
And I'm wondering what that means for coalition building as people in power continue to divide the rest of us.
Folks have been manipulated for a long time into voting against their own interests. I don't believe that they should be punished for that.
Where I live, most people are Republicans. I just kind of listen to how they're feeling about what's going on right now. And if I feel there's an opportunity, I will say, would you consider some of these facts, the facts?
What our president has been doing to the country, including with these proposed cuts to public transportation, it will have a negative impact on their day-to-day lives.
So if we use shared frustrations, stay open to people who change their minds, and refuse to sell out anyone along the way, then what could we build? And I know that's a big question for a video that started out by covering proposed cuts to passenger rail, but much like an Amtrak train, I'm gonna bring us home even if it takes longer than it probably should. The Trump administration is trying to do something that isn't new in the US, gutting services that help people. But what I heard on the train is that it keeps getting harder just to survive. People are experiencing that regardless of who they voted for, and they want to put an end to it. All that's left is to agree on how.